It's IHO Radio. Duh. It's IHO Radio. Duh.
Something like that.
I
Did
just
we
think
tell
that
him to say
the
duh?
duh definitely needs to be in there.
No, he's just throwing a little attitude in there because he thinks it sounds like us.
No, it's not a think. You guys have the Kardashian accent. And that's a fact.
A
Like, you can't even
little,
deny it.
a little nasal, a little southern, a little raspy.
No Southern. Straight California Instagram.
No, it's not.
What?
I think it's just a neutral.
You are delusional.
I am told that I sound like I have an accent. Not very much, but there are times when it comes out for sure. Especially if I'm around my family, it just naturally hops out.
Oh, yeah, but you're not with your family when you're with me. You're being yourself.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
shit. Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't even realize what I just said.
That's
Oof.
rough.
That was crazy.
News to me.
We are family. Wow. Okay. Okay.
You learn something new every day.
I learned that you guys are terrible at scheduling.
Yeah. I don't move with time in the way other people do.
Absolutely not.
Never
In fact,
happened.
I'm offended that you have a problem with it. And it got me realizing this is why I can't get along with people in general, because the neurotypical person kind of brings out the worst in me because I just do not understand them. Their perspective does not compute in my head.
Neurotypical.
You're like the most neurotypical person that I know. I cannot name a more neurotypical person than you.
He's looking up neurotypical.
Not displaying or characterized by autistic or other neurological atypical patterns. So I'm not autistic is what you're saying.
You are not.
You're not autistic enough for me. Like, you're not ADHD. You're not none of that. And so we just
No,
have...
I'm definitely ADHD.
I don't know. As long as I've known you, you've woken up at the crack of dawn.
No, but that's because of my mother, who we will name as, I'll just call her my mother.
Call her mother.
Yes, mother. My
Like
mother. So
Norman
you guys
Bates.
do realize that I lived in Roberts, right? At some
No,
point? No.
we did not realize
Okay,
that.
so I lived in Roberts. That was where my stepdad bought a house. So that's like what, 20, 30 minutes from Henderson? Mom worked for the school board and she would have to work during the summer. So every summer, like every day of summer, I would wake up at 6 a.m. with her so that I could get to the city.
Oh,
to,
I
like,
did
hang
know
out
that.
You knew that?
I knew it was something to do with your mom's schedule.
So it just locked in. Like, I'm an early bird. That's just how it is. I'm an early bird. Early bird gets the worm.
My other reaction to your response to us wanting to reschedule is that you're sexist, because if I was Sam and I wanted to reschedule, you would not have responded to me that way. No, you wouldn't have responded so harshly. Maybe you would have been like, "Oh, come on, something," but you wouldn't have been like, "Hey guys," or...
Solomon is not in this like, we are starting a podcast.
I'm just giving an example. If he was a part of this and he needed to
got in
reschedule,
between. All I'm saying is you got in between me and God.
God is ever present. No,
because you had to go to church.
Come here.
We freed up your afternoon for church. What are you talking
You
about?
still could have gone to church.
Do you not have a Bible at home that you can just...
What's the dog's name again?
His name is Koba.
Koba with a B?
Yes.
Where'd you
like
come up
Kobe,
with that?
but with an A. Where did I come up with that?
Mm-hmm.
Planet of the Apes.
That checks out. I mean, your being sexist is not a secret, so...
I just believe in gender roles.
I'm not saying I don't believe in gender roles.
You didn't for a while.
But I'm saying, if you don't think a woman can run the country, which you don't, you're
That's
sexist.
Not true either.
It is true.
Speaking of women running the country...
The woman's about to run the country.
Who?
You're about to get what you want.
We got a zinger today.
Kamala Harris.
She's running?
Joseph
Joe
Biden
Biden
dropped
dropped out,
out.
Okay, I know. I saw that he dropped
and he
out, but
endorsed her.
she's gonna win.
I
Because
don't
of
know
the
about
black vote.
Do people like her?
No,
No, but black people will vote
it's
for her.
black. Yeah, it's hey, we got a black hey,
Allison,
everybody.
Ollie P, I can't see you. Can
Yeah,
you see
what's
her?
going on?
Okay. It's just like like a third of your
Are
head.
you just slanting off on purpose?
No, I can see myself in the shot.
Now
Not
you're the
side.
wrong way.
It told me to go landscape, so this time I was like, okay, we're going landscape. I hate this fucking platform.
Bro,
It is
don't say
difficult.
that as we're using the platform.
Look, criticism just makes them better.
If you want to be sideways, that's your prerogative.
But you still need to be centered for me.
I just don't even know how I can tell because I can
You're right there. We'll tell you.
Okay, but you need to scoot to your left a little bit. Like, yes. Well, that's too much now to your left.
Holy
That's good.
Oh,
That's good.
perfect.
That's
Stop.
good. Perfect.
There you go.
I can even watch what you guys are seeing.
You're perfectly in the center of our screens now.
Okay.
Yeah, you are. If you click on the box, we all turn to landscape.
It says maximize frame or
Oh, I
minimize.
see.
I like minimizing frame because then we're all equal.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm all about equality, especially for women.
No, you aren't.
Yeah, I am.
You don't think we'll be respected if a woman is leading us?
No, I'm saying we won't be feared. Those are two different things.
Why can't a woman be feared? Did you know you clearly haven't seen Griselda on Netflix because it starts off with a quote from Pablo Escobar that says, "The scariest man I ever met was a woman named Griselda."
No,
And
but the woman that you sent me that I was like, oh, let me check her out. That's not Griselda. Kamala
I'm not saying
could
that.
possibly
I
be
know.
Griselda, maybe.
Kamala is fuck
She's
her. I'm
thrown
not
so many
voting for
black
her
people
ass.
in jail. It's not even funny.
Not voting for her.
Really?
0%.
Absolutely not.
No.
What?
No.
I'm sorry. I can't sleep at night if Kamala is in charge of this country.
I'm not voting for any Democrat ever again. I'm not doing it. I'm not voting for any Republican. I'm
You
voting
would never
independent.
vote for a Republican.
I would under the right circumstance, but
all I know is Kamala, if they do, it's going to be a bloodbath in August for like the Democratic convention is about to be it's going to be a bloodbath trying to get that nomination.
I don't know. I don't know anything about any of that.
What do you mean? Just because the president endorses somebody doesn't mean that the Democratic Party is going to nominate them to run. She just got a good endorsement. Like, oh, the president wants her to
Why
be the
does she
next
need a
president.
nomination? That's what I'm not understanding.
Oh, the same reason Trump had to get the nomination.
You mean just approval from the party? She can run without them, but
Yeah, but she won't be like, you're not going to get the money. Because I've heard people have said that it takes $1 billion to be to become the president.
there are funds for independence, but she is not going independent, is she?
If she gets the thing, she's going straight to the HBCUs. They're going to have crab boil meet and greets, watermelon, fried chicken. It's going to be
Wow. There's too much whiteness on this podcast for all this stereotyping.
That's what I'm here for, baby, to flavor it up. I put a little Hershey chocolate.
You're like milk chocolate, though.
Well, I mean, yeah. So what? It's chocolate nonetheless in America.
Totally.
Oh, he endorsed her. He didn't do it when he first dropped, but then like 15 minutes later he posted and was like, I fully endorse Kamala for the presidential candidacy.
I mean, I think it was the black vote that got Biden in, but
Yeah, because they made Kamala the vice president. So now if they put her in the presidency, that's easy pickings. Low-hanging fruit.
it disgusts me.
It's a beautiful I saw someone call it, they said on this season of America. It's like a literal reality show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Still
is.
the best country in the world. So,
Speaking of reality shows, how are you feeling about Ultimatum South Africa?
oh my gosh.
It's really good.
The fact that they only chose one white couple
I know.
is
Okay.
really where I just like I was like, why would they even? Because it really looks like the white woman is literally saying, like, I don't know if it's love or lust, and it's like you just want some of that chocolate.
Well, it's funny
Like that's
because
really what it like looks like. Like she's saying she literally said, I don't know if it's love or lust, but I'm just so attracted to these men.
That's
I
how
was
it
like,
goes anytime there's someone new.
yeah, I don't think I know what you're saying, Kaloon, but I think it's just having the opportunity to fish for other options. But it is funny on the intro of the season, and I was telling Ashton this, they only show the white couple like twice as if they're like a total non-factor, which is hilarious
because
to me.
like let's be real.
Just
Yeah.
watch the show.
Maybe
I'd
they
watch
did
the
it
first episode.
maybe they arranged it so it's like, okay, white people in this particular region are just like 1%. So we'll just bring in like one or like,
Yeah, I like that because I think a lot of times, at least for me, when I think of South Africa, I think of white South Africans.
yeah.
So
We wanted that to happen. Mission
huh?
accomplished. That
Well,
was the
no,
plan.
I think they shine a light on like South Africa as a whole rather than like the Disney-fied version of like what I think about.
I wonder if they can actually speak any of the South African
They
native
do.
tongue.
They do.
You
The
mean the
white
Oh,
white people?
yes.
oh, they didn't in the show. I don't know.
Nobody did in the show.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
do.
do.
Yeah, they do.
They talk it the
You're
whole
right, you're
time.
right, you're right.
Because I looked it up. You realize that there are 11 languages in South Africa.
I didn't know that, but I knew that like the different couples spoke different languages because it will
But
say
that's
like
the
in the
beauty.
subtitle which version they're speaking or which
Yeah.
language. So,
And that's like the beauty, but that's like the beauty of Africa is like it's so diverse. Like it's not one, there's no universal language in Africa.
mm-hmm.
Like even like Nigeria, you have Igbo. There's like 4 or 5 different major
Yoruba.
dialects. So like the one dude in the first episode, I forgot which one it was, but he was like, "Yes, my mom is this and my dad is this." And then the girl was like, "Oh, can you teach me the mother's whatever the mother's language was?" She was like, "Oh, can you teach me that?" And I was like, "Damn, that's so crazy that like there's literally over 2,000 languages in the whole continent of Africa.
Wow.
It's huge. I mean, it's
54
like
countries.
India. It's the same way.
Yeah, India has like different diet, like whole different
Mm-hmm.
things. But I mean, it's interesting. I don't like how it's kind of depressing, a little more depressing than Love Island. Like,
Yeah, it's emotional for
yeah, I
sure.
mean,
It's
look, I just mean like to the point where these people are like, it's either this or that. They're not really looking for, they're just hoping to God that this will help whoever's doing the ultimatum to make their partner marry them.
yeah, it's desperation,
Yeah.
Desperation.
but it's
Don't
really
you feel like, sorry,
go ahead.
just don't you feel like it's real then? Like, it's
Oh no,
sad. Like,
it's definitely real. Because buddy, I was cracking up. I was like, "Oh my gosh, these dudes and they're actually going to have sex with these people." That's why when I saw the white woman, I was like, once she has sex with one of these guys, it's a wrap for Buddy. She's not going
Everyone
to.
takes their own approach to it, and it like
What is
depends
your
on who
approach?
they end up partnered with. Like it's not always like hooking up with the other people. So,
But you saw in the preview that they are gonna hook up.
you see somebody doing it, but I wouldn't say it's the norm. It's a big deal whenever like it's found
yeah.
out.
On all the seasons, only a small percentage of the couples end up sleeping with their new partner.
I'm
Like
surprised you guys didn't tell me to watch the Queer Love
Oh,
one.
that one's good too.
that one's definitely the most intense one, the most
Yeah, because
chaotic, the
lesbians are so
most emotional.
intense.
Because no offense, it's all females.
Of course.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I said
That's
it.
just the fact. I mean, lesbian relationships are just so intense. Like they move in with each other in 1 week,
Yeah, it's absolutely
five
neurotic.
businesses.
Is definitely next up. You got to watch that one.
Yep, for sure.
Ultimatum France is good too. I feel like they take their relationship so much more seriously than
Because they're
the
so
other
emotional.
countries that I've seen.
I haven't seen it. I need to.
So, did you watch the first episode of Love Island?
I don't have Hulu.
It, it's on Peacock.
I don't
Oh,
have Peacock.
it's free, right? Peacock is free, right?
No, it's not. I was literally sitting there this morning like, should I even watch this first episode?
Do
Because
you
I
want to
know,
give me your login info?
yeah, I will.
Okay, well,
So that
send
we
it.
can discuss both equally.
Text it.
I'll put it in the fucking, I'll say it right now and give the whole
Don't,
world it.
because then we'll have to bleep it out.
I'll give the whole world my info. Social
Okay,
Security, everything. I don't care.
okay.
Take it away. Take it over. It's
Take
all
it
yours.
away. I'm about to start gardening. So I'm about to start growing my own vegetables. I'm about to become a sovereign citizen, if anyone knows what that is.
Yeah,
Me
we know what
too.
sovereign means.
Yeah, we're not idiots. Um,
You
I
can't
have
be
been,
sovereign, Ashton,
Why can't she?
why?
but she's a lawyer.
Uh,
You can be
hello?
sovereign in
What?
other ways.
You wouldn't be able to
My
be a lawyer and be sovereign.
in
That's
my
like the whole
personal
point.
life, I can be sovereign. In my professional capacity, I have to abide by whatever the fuck, but in my personal life, personally, you can't. In fact, my lawyering is what makes me able to like know that I can be sovereign because
And she'll be fighting for people to regain their sovereignty.
They'll
exactly.
be pissed if you try it.
Who's they? It's all
The
about who
system.
I'm working for.
The system.
My employer, my hopefully will be my employer, who I'm interning for. They're all for it. They're all
What?
for it. They're all for.
You brought it up?
No, but like I just know how they are. Like a lot of
Okay,
people
don't
have signs in their office window. What are you laughing about?
don't tell them that you want to or are thinking about becoming sovereign.
Okay, I don't need to talk to them about that kind of thing, but I
No,
just know
that's
the
what I'm
general
saying.
vibe of the office is like they have signs in their window that's like if cats could talk to cops, they wouldn't. And so to me, that says a lot about who they are. No,
I just
whatever.
know that sovereignty makes people feel uncomfortable because that's like actually being off the system. Like sovereign people don't pay taxes. It's a whole thing.
Well,
Like
I'm
pushing the system, I guess pushing the system to the boundaries of what like normal people. So say like having a child and just allowing the hospital to deliver the baby and then let you leave. Because my father tried that with my youngest sister. When he had her, he was like, I'm gonna see how far I can like he tested the system and they gave him some fight back. Like you're gonna deliver the baby and the baby is not going to leave this room. Like do all the tests you want, but you're not about to have my baby in a random room with other babies. I don't know what they're doing in that room.
AKA they didn't want it vaccinated.
But not even back like they're not gonna back. I'm talking about like even the nurse, like the what do they call the woman that watches all the babies? You know that there's a room with all the babies just laying there crying, and there's a nurse that's watching them.
Right, because
So he said that the
the
he
parents
said
are
that the woman
exhausted.
he said that the woman was like, oh my gosh, like I wish, like oh I just love my babies. It's like that's not your baby, so please don't act like it is.
Okay, calm down.
Well, I think that's so stupid because it's her job and she loves babies and she's not saying that your baby is her baby. And
At all.
I've seen people online talking about you should never let your newborn baby get out of your sight because they might switch it or they might do something, blah, blah, blah.
That happens too.
But it's probably not going to happen. And
But
I
could
don't,
have.
what a slim chance like of that happening.
You
I
know, armed robber could just break in the hospital when you have your baby and just take it. Anything could happen, but as far as what's realistic to happen, like that's not it. If it makes you feel any better, they have centers in like Asia. I don't exactly know where, but that it's normal for the mom and the baby to go to this place. There's somebody taking care of the mom and baby, like kind of separately. I mean, they're not completely separated. They see each other sometimes, but the whole process for the mom and probably the dad too is exhausting. So you need this buffer
Keyword
time. What?
China.
Asia. I didn't say where. They have some really nice practices over
China.
there, except for their government's setup, which is obvious.
It's pretty wild. I just know that he was like the police got involved. They weren't trying to let them leave the hospital. And then they gave him a piece of paper that was like signing off on, like, okay, I'm taking my baby. Because he even said he went to the car and when he came back to the lobby, they were trying to like keep him out of the room. And he was like, "Are you holding me hostage? And are you holding my family hostage?" And they were like, as soon as he like brought in like legal terms, they were like, "Oh no, it's not. It's nothing like that." Blah. I don't know. It's a whole lot of fishy stuff. Whole lot of fishy stuff going on
I think they just have a structure and they have,
that they want us to follow
yeah,
verbatim.
but you got to think like these people aren't thinking like you or your dad. They're just doing their job, and anyone countering that is freaking them out and messing with their processes. I don't think it's rooted in evil.
And I think
I
if you
never said it was.
communicate what you're thinking, what you are planning on doing with your kid to them, instead of just doing it in the moment and tripping them up, like I think it would probably have been a different experience.
One thing that I thought was cool though is that hospitals actually allow water births, and I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Latrice,
Mm-mm.
or my stepmom, had my sister in the hospital, but it was still a water birth. I was like, wow, I
Um,
didn't, that's thumbs up.
That's cool. But it
Yeah,
might be cheaper.
yeah, maybe. No epidural. I heard those are bad for the woman as well.
Who knows? All I know is I don't handle it well when I'm not feeling good, so I might have to get it
You gonna push that little thing out?
one way or another, I guess, or it's gonna be cut out of me. You never really know.
Whoa.
I'm kind of we're getting to the age where we might be a geriatric mother, so
mhm.
you never know.
So, could you imagine back in the day when they first started doing C-sections? Like medieval
I
time?
don't want to imagine because I don't even think a lot of doctors these days get it right. So,
Do you guys watch House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones?
no, we already
Okay,
talked
let's go.
about this.
Sorry, Kaloon.
That's gonna need to be on the list as well. Oh, shirtless man. He's
What can he
Spanish.
do?
He's Spanish. Don't worry about it.
He's Spanish. He gets a pass. He can do whatever.
Yeah, they do what they want.
Spanish.
It's a different state of mind. They're so
Yeah,
free.
maybe I should just
Maybe I
uh,
should just.
yeah, let's just all next episode, ladies and gentlemen,
Hey,
we
we're
will all be
sovereign.
Yeah.
shirtless. We will all
Sovereign.
be topless, and this will be on OnlyFans.
Protecting my sovereignty. Yes.
Episode 2 will be exclusively on OnlyFans because there's no way
Of
that we'll be
nipples
able to.
showing. Even
The
though
first
nipples shouldn't be sexualized. What, Ollie?
the first sovereign podcast. I think we could go somewhere with that.
Wow.
We could
Incredible.
actually go somewhere with that, like to the woods.
I've been looking at lots of land, you guys. I've been
It's
like,
cheap.
Well, it can be, yeah. In Nashville, it's really expensive, but I found one for just like $25,000, which is totally feasible,
Yeah.
taking out a loan. So, yeah,
Where is it?
I'm,
Is it out of the city or
it's
where?
in Nashville. The picture that I saw of it, it's a wooded area, so it's on the outer part of Nashville, but it is in Nashville, and I love that it's wooded. And I know that as Nashville continues to grow, like it will be built around, like, and the value will
Yeah.
go up. So I really, really hope I can buy this piece of land. It's really small, but I don't need like, you know,
Shit, it's the best investment. So
for
whatever little
sure.
land you can get in this world, get it.
You want to know what's
Absolutely.
crazy about Henderson and its relation to Nashville?
What?
The man who started Henderson, his name was Richard Henderson, and he was a land surveyor, and he purchased 200,000 acres from the Native Americans in 1778. And the land, that 200,000 acres that he bought, Nashville was in that. But then the
Hmm,
federal government came and took most of it from him after, because they were like, yeah, we can't just let you have all this.
son of a bitch.
Yeah. That's crazy. I looked that shit up. I was like, wow, I did not realize that there are, like, back in the day, there were people called land surveyors, and all they would do is just buy obscene amount of land and start colonies on, like, the
And draw
property.
maps
Yeah,
and
exactly.
collect
Like, draw
data.
maps and stuff. But 200,000 acres is crazy. He probably
But
bought
back
it for
then, it probably
$3,000.
wasn't even, I mean, it was a lot for sure, but back then, like, it's affordable probably. I don't know. What do I know? But it's not affordable now. That's all I know, actually.
Oh, shit. It says, okay, I lied. Home of four Kentucky governors, occupies part of 200,000-acre land deed in 1778. Originally, Colonel Henderson and others had purchased from the Cherokee Indians the territory containing some 17 million acres, which is like basically the whole state of Kentucky.
That would stress
Wow.
me out if I had 17 million acres.
Yeah, it would stress
Yeah.
me out.
And guess how much he paid for that 17 million acres?
How much?
$50,000.
I was gonna guess 50,000.
50K for 17 million acres.
Oh my God, I want to
Wouldn't
do that. Can
fathom
you do that?
fathom that.
I want to see like the
Oh, the
what that would be today.
inflation. Yeah, let us know.
What was $50,000 in what year? 1718?
1778, shortly after America became the greatest country of all time.
Uh-huh. 1778. So, okay. Is equivalent in purchasing power to about two, what's it, million? 2,040,097 dollars.
And think about, now there's only houses getting sold for $2 million.
Yeah,
Yeah. What a
it's
fucking,
a deal.
What a steal, man. He fooled those Indians. He
they
sure
just didn't
got over
know.
on them.
I
I'll
just can't
say.
believe it got its name from a person. I've never even fathomed that.
I wonder
Henderson
what
just
he
couldn't
looks like.
be.
Richard Henderson?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's look
to
him
me,
up.
Henderson is like a realm.
It says jurist, Richard Henderson, in parentheses, jurist. What the hell does that even mean? American jurist, land speculator, and politician who is best known for attempting to create the Transylvania colony in frontier Kentucky.
Yeah,
The
he
hell
tried to
does that
start
mean?
Transylvania as well, and that failed.
What does that even mean? What is
What?
Transylvania? Like, it's a place.
What do you mean?
He was a lawyer. Anyway,
Did you find I got a picture of him.
well, I see a picture of his side profile. I can't really even tell, but he looks like any other old guy from back in the
That's
day
crazy.
wearing a
Why
wig.
Henderson? not have like any statue, any like art of him, like nothing. I need to hit up the depot and be like, y'all gotta have something on this man.
Here, look.
Only John James Audubon, like that's all we're gonna talk about.
It's like they don't know.
Dude, like, do you guys actually know?
They probably don't. It's Henderson. So
Mm. LEP, I noticed that you're sitting in a different location.
yeah, well, I didn't like the lighting over there, but I don't like it over here either. So, but I was just already on the ground, but I will happily hop over to my spot. I'm gonna move over here.
Okay.
Was tired of sitting on the floor.
Hey, Ollie P, who's that behind you?
Guess.
Machine Gun Kelly?
No. People never get it right, but that's the first time anyone has ever guessed Machine Gun Kelly. Next.
I'm just unique. What can I say?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Next
But
guess.
who is it?
Guess.
No, you have to keep guessing until you get it.
Is it that weird art guy?
Andy Warhol.
That's who
Good
it is.
job. Good job.
Mm.
Most people, they never get it, honestly. I think only one person has ever got it.
The hair is like, who the hell is that?
Yeah,
Andy
he
Warhol was a
wore a
wild man.
wig, even though he had hair. He wore
The
a white wig.
first famous guy who was famous for really just being a social experimenter, a researcher, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. He was just running a show on people. Like, his art is like okay to me. I like it. I like the colors, but I really just like him as a person. He was an enigma. He's one of my favorite people. Like, if I had to have like dinner with people, like, who would you have dinner with, dead or alive? Like, he would definitely be there. And he would just say like quick, witty things that people would think was super weird, and I would be like laughing.
Because that's like your vibe.
A little bit. I definitely see similarities between us. He's
You and
probably
Warhol?
something. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why did you say he?
I mean, I haven't really heard that he exploited people, but I do know he was like attempted assassination because
Mm,
this girl in like one of his films that he did, I think he didn't pay her or like didn't give her credit or something, and she came to kill him, missed, probably only made him more famous. But he had this studio in New York called the Silver Factory where like a lot of artists hung out, and they did like films, photography, art, fashion, all that. And it's the New York art scene just like it is today, but back then in the 60s, like there wasn't a lot of money to go around. It wasn't like a prolific financially, so maybe people felt exploited, but I don't see how that's any different than how it is now. I mean, he did have notoriety, he probably did have money, but just being around him made you someone. So
So
your
you'll like this. There's a
compensation.
guy named Russell Kane on the BBC radio, the British broadcasting channel.
Yeah.
He does a segment he has a podcast called Evil Genius, and he did one on Andy Warhol, and it says Andy Warhol, evil exploiter of everyone or visionary artistic genius.
Visionary
Was
artistic genius.
was he a prophetic inspirational powerhouse who changed the history of art forever, or a strange, silent fraud who was more focused on commerce than creativity and enjoyed the pain of others?
Well, one of his most famous quotes is business is a form of art. So he looked at everything that way. And yes, he was a fraud in a lot of ways. Like his white hair, he didn't have white hair. He intentionally made himself ugly. Like he thought he was ugly and he made an effort to make himself uglier and only hung around beautiful people. He was homosexual, but would never speak on that. Like he acted like he had no romantic relationships whatsoever. He pretended like he had nothing to say, no thoughts, no opinion on anything, but he definitely did. And if you watch his interviews, like the most like neutral statements, nothingness, and he's just fucking with people and like they don't know how to take them and they don't know how to engage and interact with him. And it was just a part of his show.
So
And I
this
think it's
guy
genius.
has three for and against statements that he elaborates on.
Let's hear it.
4, he made art accessible. So he made it accessible. He wanted everyone to be able to be an artist if they saw fit.
Yep.
which is
The Silver
great.
Factory was
Yeah.
And
the
a lot of people were not like that. A lot of artists, influential artists.
he gave a lot
Yeah.
of people a home, like people lived the Silver Factory.
And it says against, he turned art into a business. He
Yes.
It
created so
always
much
was going to
project
be.
that it seemed as if he was only interested in making money and doing good business rather than creating beautiful, meaningful works of art.
Yeah, his
Oh,
art is
good break.
meaningful. Like his art isn't meaningful and intentionally so. Like he like his most famous thing was the Campbell soup. He just took something normal that you see every day and changed the color, which actually brought made the world colorful. Like marketing wasn't colorful
But I
before
think that
that.
he's going from the point of view of like now someone can, like for instance the guy that just taped a banana on the wall and it sold for like 350,000, like
Exactly.
that
He was just seeing what boundaries he
artist
could
wants to
push
do
and like
that, or
what
it's
he
like
could do, and he did it. And his art is very superficial, and I love
so.
Intentionally. I don't
Or
see the reason of construing that negatively.
yeah.
well, he just said it says he would often use screen printing companies that he didn't even visit to make his artworks and simply signed the results. As Russell explains, people are paying a lot of dollar for something and he's saying, "Yeah, just go print that over there."
If
Other
you know
artists
anything
in his
about art, you know that artists do that. They have people replicate their original pieces and sell them as if the artist actually made it. That's just standard.
Yeah. His next one is 4. His next 4 is he was insanely successful. But then here we go. This is where we wanted to be. Against. He was viciously exploitative. As well as outsourcing his artworks for other people to produce, Warhol could also be offhand, even cruel with those around him. He set up his first factory in 1964, a huge studio where he worked, but which was also a haven for the dispossessed artists, poets, actors, drag queens, addicts, and eccentrics spent their days and nights at Warhol's factory.
Hmm.
4, he was incredibly inventive. We can agree on that. But then his last against is the whole 15 minutes of fame. It says he created disposable celebrity culture.
Yeah.
Like he's the one that created that.
Hmm. There, like some
Dude
people
was
view it as he's
definitely
the one
he's
that created what a celebrity is because he would just find people, like different people, and like take portraits of them, make art of them, and like was super into glamour and fashion and like all this superficial materialistic stuff. And like people say he invented the celebrity.
but like the disposable celebrity. So like these people were like one hit wonders. Like pop them off for like just like, oh, you were in the Warhol. Oh my gosh, this and that, but they have no.
But you're memorialized forever because of him.
I mean, you rather have one hit than no hit. So
Hmm. Yeah, he was also deeply religious and never talked about it, which I think is cool
interesting.
and relatable. And one of his boos was Basquiat.
His what?
One of his boos, like loves, was Basquiat.
Oh, is that how you pronounce Basquiat? Or
Oh, yeah. I don't know how to say it actually.
I don't know how either. I
I think
mean,
it's
I guess.
Basquiat. I don't think
I
it's
thought
Basquiat.
you were saying Basquiat, and I was like, oh, and so my friend, what did he say yesterday? He pronounced vinyl vinyl.
I
He said, "Oh, we
actually
got a
like how
record player, and I just bought a bunch of vinyl." And I was like, "What?"
You did
He
what
said
now?
vinyl. I was like, "Dude, you could have just said record." Just say record. Don't say venue in front of
I mean,
anyone.
how can you know if you just read a word, like, and you say it? Like, how can you know if you've never heard someone say it before? Like, just go for it.
Go for it because
You,
nothing is real. Words are constructs anyways.
And also, like, depending on like what country you're from, like whether it's Basquiat or Basquiat, like we're probably both saying it wrong.
Probably so.
Versailles,
we
Versailles.
got interviews by them, so I'm sure that we could get the proper pronunciation.
Well, yeah, I could look it up right now. Let's do it. Jean.
Yeah,
Jean.
Jean Basquiat.
I would say Jean.
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 Pretty sure it's Basquiat.
It is Basquiat, but I'm
Well,
just
my
saying,
phone's
like,
not loading, but I'll take your word for it.
I always heard it. But anyways, that's cool. Artists link up.
Yeah.
that's so sad. He died at 28.
Warhol?
No,
No,
Basquiat.
the other guy.
What did he die of?
I think AIDS.
Oh God, that checks out, unfortunately.
No, heroin overdose.
Oh,
Oh, you
well, that's
guys,
pretty bad.
Despite
speaking of
some
AIDS,
what?
I have a sad story about AIDS that's affected me personally last week.
Go ahead.
Well, my mom is a hoarder of all things.
Sorry, when
Even what?
you said it affected me last week. My mom.
I was like, oh,
Well, sometimes my brain and my mouth, there's this kind of a lag. I'm trying to get my thoughts together, but my mom is a hoarder, is what I was saying. Of all things, including cats, apparently, because she went around the trailer park collecting all the kittens she could find, put them all in her bathroom, and my little sister was having to take care of them. They had issues. She was like complaining to me every day because mom wasn't doing anything for them, whatever. So I just took it upon myself to go pick them up, 2 hours away at my mom's house. And on the way back home, like I knew of this good shelter to drop them at. But they wouldn't take them at first. They wanted me to bring them back the next day so the doctor could look them over and make sure that they could take them. Because they were considering like if you leave them here, we might have to euthanize them. So anyway, we bring them home with us. Um, Leviticus really, really wants one of the babies, and they're so cute and they're so small. And we just are watching them, seeing which one's personality is the best. And it was this one with like this eye that had ruptured or something. Like it looked like she might lose it, but um, I don't know. I just like had it in my head, like I'm gonna feed her, I'm gonna keep her, I'm gonna feed her carrot baby food, I'm gonna save her eye. Like, yeah. So anyway, we go back an hour away to the shelter the next morning. And I'm all ready to keep her. I'm getting her tested for things. And then she tests positive for leukemia, and my dreams are crushed, and I'm crying. And Leviticus is just like, come on, like, we've just had her since yesterday. Like, it's
you said
fine. Like,
leukemia.
which is feline AIDS.
Oh, okay.
It's
I truly
confusing.
Wow.
never knew that was the version of feline AIDS. I feel like one of my cats died from that when I was a kid.
Mm.
I didn't realize. But yesterday is long enough for me to love you, so I get it.
So, how long did you know this? We'll just call her One Eye
Come on.
Popeye.
How
Popeye.
long had I known her? No, her name was Peach. My
Oh,
mom had her, I guess, for a month.
no,
Um,
you.
I had her for a night, but I had been hearing about her and getting updates on her all along. And so, I mean, it's like I knew her longer. But the point is, a night is long enough to love a needy, adorable little baby kitten. Like, how much time do you,
Meaty.
I mean, maybe
Meaty.
not what?
She's
Needy?
meaty. Like a little,
Needy.
oh, I think I'm meaty, like a little chunky baby. I was like,
No, needy, Needy, because of her eye
oh,
issue. But the reason for my upset was because I feel like I should be able to control everything, and
Like
then I'm
your God.
reminded I can't. My God complex. Yes, I should be her savior, nobody else. I don't want anyone else to have her. She's perfect. She would get along perfect with my other little girl, Poppy and Peach. I had the whole vision. Poppy's a daddy's girl. I knew Peach was going to be a daddy's girl. Like, it crushed me. It crushed me, but she'll be
You
okay.
wanted you wanted to be Peach's white Jesus.
I mean, that's one way of putting it. Yeah.
So you guys might know that I struggle with making emotional connections with animals.
Right. So you probably wouldn't have given a fuck.
Especially after a night. I would have been like, you already have three.
It's in
But
your cat. It's in your
no,
lap,
look,
purring, and is
that's
like,
not why I brought that up. I was going to give you a history on
okay,
why I think I was traumatized as a child to not be able to make that connection.
with animals specifically?
Yeah, with animals specifically,
That's awful,
especially
Kaylin.
cat. You want to know why?
why?
Because I lived in Corden, Kentucky for a little bit, and I would have to walk on the sidewalk every day to go to a friend's house. And on this sidewalk was a dead black cat with its eyes like
Okay. Yeah.
popped out of its like literally just eyeballs out of this cat. And it was so scary. Every single like I
Okay.
would have to
That is a
I
sad
would men-
sight.
I would have to mentally I would have to
That mean you
why are
don't
you
have
shitting on
feelings
my
for it?
trauma?
I don't understand. You see something sad and that makes you not be able to form connections with
No,
that
not
kind of animal?
sad. Not sad,
It disgusted
scared.
you?
Scary. Scared me. I was scared to walk past this dead cat every
But
time. I would have to mentally get ready because I knew it was there.
and so when you see an alive cat slash animal,
I would walk across the street and walk the sidewalk to get away. No one ever cleaned it up. This
that's
cat
perfectly
literally
normal.
decomposed.
That's perfectly normal to walk on the other side of the road as a dead creature,
I'm
but
starting to
I
get
just
fucking flashbacks right now, actually. And you just like literally were acting like I'm some sort of monster when this thing actually struck fear in me.
I'm like,
I
where's
can
the
understand
empathy?
that. If I was a kid and I saw something scary like that, yeah, it would be imprinted in my brain. But
Bro,
but I do feel like at this point you should have enough other experiences that you pass that.
You
well, and then
have a dog in your
they
home
told me that I
too.
was extremely, they said I was extremely allergic to cats as well. So
That's what they
then
all say.
I ain't never
no,
seen that.
I took the little allergen test where they prick all the different things on you, and cat was top 5 for sure.
Oh, well, not these cats.
Well, because you were smart and got hypoallergenic ones. Peach was not.
She probably, no, it's not.
I'll
I,
never forget. I fell asleep one time at this person's house and they had cats, and I was fine when I went there, and then I fell asleep and woke up, and I kid you not, I could not breathe. Like literally could not
yeah,
breathe through my nose. It was insane. Like
I feel
wake
you.
up.
I
What
used
the heck?
to be like that around my mom's cat, and now I don't really have any cat allergy no matter what cat I'm around. So I feel
You
like I
might
grew
be
out of
immune.
it. I also take an allergy pill every day, so
Speaking of growing out of allergies, my little cousin, he was allergic to milk, like deathly allergic to milk.
and
That's
And
embarrassing.
we all are. I
no,
mean,
when he
not
was younger.
deathly.
So it's hilarious. This is funny segue because he was, I think, I want to say he was probably like 8 years old when he had ice cream for the first time, and he didn't know that it was cold. So like, can you imagine like, oh hey, it was my birthday, so I had an ice cream cake, and we were just like, hey, try this. Like you can have milk now. Try this ice cream. And I kid you not, the face he made when he put that ice cream in his mouth, it was like complete shock and like what? Like almost spit
Especially because it's in cake form, so that's the last thing you're expecting.
Dude, it was like literally. And he's looking around like, this is cold. Like, why is this so cold? It was so funny. But yeah, allergies, people grow out of them, some people don't.
How? I'm not
Oh,
understanding how do you grow out of a milk allergy though?
They say every 7 years your body can like lose or develop allergies.
That makes sense. Yeah, just like everything else, just like taste
yeah,
buds.
it says by the age of no, if a baby's born with a milk allergy, by the age of 3 or 5, 3 to 5, you can reintroduce and they should be fine. 80% says 80% of kids that have
Oh
milk
yeah, you
allergy.
should never give babies or toddlers milk, but people do that all
But
the
from the
time.
suckle of the teat.
Well, I am looking forward to receiving your Peacock login info.
Dude, you guys are gonna love Love Island. Like,
Wait a minute, what episode of Ultimatum are you on?
I just watched the first one today.
Okay, so we have a ways to go before we can really debrief this season. But
Yeah, seems a
Yeah,
little
but that's
ultimate.
what I'm saying. Like, as long as we're being cooperative and both watching each show at the same time, then we'll have the same. It's like a buffer. We're actually giving each other the same buffer
Well, how
because
many episodes is Love Island?
I'm not finished with it. It's 35.
Ugh,
huh?
disgusting.
That's too much. Okay, we'll watch as many episodes as the ultimatum is. I can't watch that much.
No, you're gonna want to watch more because they keep like I said, it's not like Ultimatum to where you're like, oh, we have a set amount of couples. You're bringing in new people to test the
I swear,
relationships that
it's
are
just like The Perfect Match on Netflix. We could just watch that instead of Love Island. It's the
no
same
perfect.
thing.
I don't like Perfect Match.
Why? It's the
I don't.
same thing.
No, it's not. You'll see the difference because I watched Perfect Match as well. I was mad when she started Love Island, and I was like, ugh, another one. And then I got hooked. Like I literally got hooked to
Another
the.
one.
Oh, dude, there's so many. Too Hot to Handle.
Do
Hate
you
that one.
watch? I've never seen that one. Do you watch Love is Blind?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. All of them. Like
Yeah,
there's so
yeah.
many. There's just all these different like small nuances that are different, but Love Island, I got hooked on these characters. Like these people and their relationships. I cried because they did a point, okay, to the point of they had America vote on who their favorite couples were, and the last two couples had to stand up, and the other people that have already made were like friendships with the other people had to band together and vote who to keep and who to send home. I mean, they were messed up. Like that was so, oh my gosh, it was so messed up. It's so messed up. Whew.
Wow, I can't wait to understand
Yeah, I
what
mean,
you're
dude,
talking about.
because it's literally
Well,
like you guys, like think about Ollie P and Ashtun just walking in like, hi, I'm Ollie P and I'm Ashtun and I'm
We would
here.
totally freak everyone out. We
No,
would
you
our
would
freak it.
fit in with because
neurodivergent
the crazy
selves.
thing is the new people that come in have been watching the show. So they already know who they want.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like,
Yeah.
Randy, I already got my eye on you. And you're like, oh my gosh, damn it. Because you know Randy, he loves to look. He's a looker. So you just think he's gonna fold because after they have the five couples like really in there, they have a thing called Casa Azul, where they remove the men, bring in 5 new guys for the girls, and send the men to another house where they bring in
Again,
5 new girls. So then the
perfect
dudes can
match.
dude,
It's
alright,
the
hold on
same.
a second. You're
Everything
pissing
you're
me off.
saying is perfect
You are
match.
pissing me off.
I guess I will not understand the differences until I just see Love
Why
Island.
is Perfect Match
Are you
not?
asking ChatGPT?
Yeah.
You know something. I told y'all I was looking at land. I was also looking at how to build your own crawl space. Side note. And I asked ChatGPT like how to do it, and then I had it translated to Spanish so he could read it and see if he could do that. And it was just like I was asking it further questions about like every part of the process, and I was just like, the future is now. This is crazy.
Bro, you can that's the beauty of ChatGPT because the segment like it saves what questions you keep as
Right.
like its own individual topic and you can go back to them. It's
Okay,
Mhm.
so that's
insane.
cool.
It is
Do you
insane.
use it
Like
all,
I can't get
AP?
enough of it.
No, but now that I know that, since I like forget things a lot, it would be good to know like what I'm working on, like having it by topic.
Can do.
I like have not wanted to use it.
Yeah, I get that.
So here
I
we
didn't have a
go. It
choice.
gave me 3 different topics for the differences between Perfect Match and Love Island.
Hilarious. That is hilarious. What are
The
they?
format difference. Perfect match. This show typically revolves around finding compatibility based on various criteria such as personality, interest, and values. Contestants engage in challenges or activities designed to test their compatibility. Love Island, on the other hand, focuses more on romantic and physical connections between contestants. It often features a group of singles living together in a villa where they couple up and form relationships. The emphasis is on drama, romance, and intrigue, with couples often competing against each other to stay in the villa. Tone and themes. Perfect
Mhm.
Match tends to be more introspective and thoughtful approach to relationships. Love Island, known for its lively and often dramatic atmosphere, emphasizes the excitement and ups and downs of romantic
Mm.
relationships. Contestants' interactions, conflicts, and romantic pursuits are central to the show's appeal. In summary, while both shows fall under the reality dating genre, they differ in their formats, themes, and aspects of relationships they highlight. These differences contribute to their unique appeal to different segments of audiences. So it
Yeah,
is different.
so Love Island is just a trashier version of Perfect
Yes.
Yeah,
Match.
like more drama. I'm
Yeah.
talking like drama, drama, drama. Like you really like, oh, I hope he's. That's what I'm saying. It's more like Perfect Match is more serious. So I would go Ultimatum, super serious. Perfect Match, nah. Love Island is like just drama. Like you guys are gonna eat it up like this. You guys love drama. I
Do
just
I don't
couldn't
we?
know. I
need
love
more
love.
drama.
I wouldn't say I love drama.
Yeah,
I
I'm not in
mean,
it.
you guys have the, but you guys share accents with most of the females on the show.
What is the relevance? Objection.
You're gonna be,
Relevance.
huh?
Relevance.
You
Overruled.
think we're gonna relate to these people because
Yeah, hell yeah. And you're gonna be like, man, they're so hot. They're just so hot. And then you're
They're
gonna
on
pick your
TV. They wouldn't be on TV if they weren't hot. Everybody on,
no
I mean, pretty much.
ultimatum that you wouldn't say that they're like there for their looks, like they're
Yeah,
normal
but you
people.
would in Love is, you
no,
can
I
see
wouldn't
they
say
try.
until this season for Love is Blind, everyone's been
Yeah.
incredibly average looking, which is why I
Yeah.
never wanted to go on the show because I just knew I was gonna end up with someone who's not attractive. But this past season, they added more attractive people, and it was their best season so far. So I wonder
Yeah.
if they'll ever go back, especially when you have characters like Micah and Jess, who are now like these popular people who are on these other shows. It's like
Yeah.
completely taken a new lead.
For
Which kind of
sure.
sucks because I think one of the best things about Love is Blind is like just seeing regular people and like these average looking people with average jobs and just like their relationship pursuit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like more realistic.
Love is Blind is scary as hell.
It is because, I mean, it's just a mind fuck. Like if you were in the position, you
You
would feel
fall
the
in
same
love.
way. Yeah.
You literally fall in love with this person's personality, and then you see them, and you're like,
It ain't it, boss.
It's
it
the
ain't it.
same thing as like I feel like I've experienced Love is Blind and The
I think
Ultimate
so.
in my
I have
personal
to.
life because like I've always like dated people like that I met online or like in some random occurrence and then like or actually like
Not
the
on
date
a dating app. I wanted
not
to
on a
add that.
dating app. Yeah,
Like
not on a dating
Facebook.
app yet, but that's coming.
Yeah.
And like when like this concept that you have of someone like before you meet them will never ever ever be accurate to who they actually are. Even if you feel like you really know someone, like the way they walk, the way that they breathe, their posture, the way they treat like service workers, all these things that you cannot gather any amount of speaking through a wall or FaceTime, like none of that is who that person really is. And it's extremely misleading and hard to break when you actually meet that person.
Everybody's like, oh, in the pods, you were blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you think that's real? Like, stop saying that. Like, what is this expectation? It's just
Yeah,
You've
it's
so
never
just
out of
been
something
on a
touch.
made up in
dating app,
your
Ollie
head.
P?
Like, they'll never be what you thought, and that could be better or worse.
Yeah.
You've never been on a dating app, Ollie P?
No, I've always just met people in real
No, I'm
life.
saying you've never
Or on
used a
social
dating.
media, not on a dating app,
Yeah,
though.
no,
You've never used Bumble, none of
no,
that.
It's
no.
a
Wow.
it's
So you're
largely a
about to
waste
hit
of
this.
time.
I can't
Yeah,
wait.
I know. So it's
Can't.
going to be a topic for me when I start going on dates. But
Yes, because
yeah,
we'll start being able to talk about you swiping. You're gonna be swiping your little heart away.
I'm going to
But
be swiping.
I would suggest Bumble because in Bumble the girl has to chat first.
Okay. And so, knowing you, I would not suggest Bumble
Yeah,
because
I'm not saying shit
you
to.
you don't need to say shit to nobody. When I have this, there's this thing with men where they don't actually like when women come onto them first. I think it's maybe a little demasculating because in my past, I was not afraid of coming onto men first, and it's not received well.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
I
a good
think
point.
anytime I've been like super flirtatious with a guy and like come on to them,
Ooh,
it has not been received well, even though I think it's funny.
like hey,
Absolutely.
good looking. What do you say when you
So
go up to
Bumble's a
him?
bust. Hinge is
No,
the
yeah,
best.
okay. Throw Bumble out. Forget I said it. I want to know,
Hinge.
Ollie P. You just saw a hot guy and you're about to go talk to him. What is the
For
first thing you say?
example, like if I met someone at a bar and like we were just talking about like our weekend or like, and they're like, "What are you doing this weekend?" I would be like, "Whatever you're doing," and
Oh,
and
that's gonna make a guy feel uncomfortable.
they're like, "Yeah, exactly."
It does.
Wow.
It definitely
And that
does. And
goes into gender roles and masculinity.
And
it's
I like gender
unfortunate.
roles actually. And yeah, I like gender roles and I'm okay with me not having to come on to people and being forward. They can take the
I'm
lead. It's fine.
okay
And
with
just
them
being
for
at
the
the
most
just
part.
being at the whim of a man.
Huh? What'd you say?
I
He's
said just
nodding.
being at the whim of a man, you know?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, but what is not fine with me is like, why can't I, when I see something, I want it, I can't actually go forth with that usually because,
But and then that's why you guys should just audition for Love Island, and then you'll be able to do that
and then we'll be
because
able to just,
those guys like that. They're ready for that.
They're also probably all terrible catches, so there's
yeah,
probably a reason it doesn't work on
I
most guys.
mean, there's some good guys in there. You'll see. You'll fall in love. Don't worry about it.
we'll see about
But
that.
we are yeah, we'll talk about gender roles next time.
We'll talk about
I
gender
re-
roles every time because there's always
I
something to say about it.
well, I really enjoyed this talk because, it's IHO Radio. Duh.
IHO Radio, I hope I talk to you again soon.
I hope
What?
this
I don't
recording
like
works. So that,
that.
huh? You
I
didn't
hope
what do
I
you
talk to you again soon.
I
Like,
I
hope
hope
Okay. Okay.
All right,
I
we're
gotta
10
go
minutes
watch
over the
House of the
hour.
Dragon. So love you
Yeah.
guys.
Love
Love
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah.